Greetings everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about East German helmet covers. We'll cover helmets in a later time, but we're going to talk about the different kinds of camouflage covers that the East German military used during their 46 years in existence. And at the end I'm going to show you an East German helmet with a camouflage cover that most people don't get to see. So, if that interests you, stick around. Alright everybody, welcome back to the shop. Like I said, we're going to look at East German camouflage helmet covers. Now we'll go into helmets themselves in a different video. If that interests you, just let me know down in the comments. And this cover right here also doubles as a hood for the camouflage combat jacket. Right, you see these buttonholes right here. The buttonholes button into buttons along the collar of the combat jacket. So this is a model 1956. This is not the later model 56 that I'll show you here in a minute. So these covers are in a camouflage pattern referred to as Blumentarn or Flachentarn. It is the first camouflage pattern that East Germany produced for itself. Earlier, before Germany or East Germany produced this camouflage pattern, they also used the Soviet amoeba pattern, but they did not make helmet covers for helmets in that camouflage pattern. So what's interesting about this is at one point these came into the United States. They were right after the fall of the wall in 91. East German equipment was all over the planet. It was literally being sold to other armies that didn't have enough equipment as surplus, and you could get this stuff for a song. It really was not that expensive, right? So this pattern wasn't really highly sought after at that time, because quite frankly it's ugly as crap, and I guess not very useful to your average American sportsman. The rain pattern camo that I'll show you in a little while was way more common. So this is the first camouflage helmet pattern that was used in East Germany, and that started in the late 1950s. Okay, and it went up through 1965 when they switched over to the other pattern. All right, so I'll take a quick look at it here, and you'll see that it's just tucked in, right? You saw how it's tucked in. It's got a drawstring, so you can draw it down tight. Like I said, you can wear it as a hood for your combat jacket, and or a camouflage cover for your M56 helmet. Okay. So very interesting pattern. And here's the drawstring along the back. You can see that, and it just tucks in underneath these little pads. So this was the first, actually second pattern of helmet liner that was used in these helmets, but we'll go into that in a different video. So here is a helmet cover that is obviously not camouflage, right? It is a field gray colored cover, and this matches the uniform of the Kampfgruppen der Arbeiterklasse, which is basically the East German militia of factory workers, right? And they were a military formation. They were trained in military tactics and so forth, how to use weapons, how to do small unit tactics, and they were basically a home defense militia. For East Germany. Now you'll see again, the same way, it's tucked in, right? So let me see if I can, tucked it in pretty good. Let me see if I can get it untucked. In this case, there are no buttonholes, right? So this one is not designed to button onto the combat jacket. It's pretty simple. Oh, and I meant to mention that all of these have this mosquito netting that goes down over your face. Let me pull that out real quick so you can take a look at it. It's very simple. You just pull it down over your face. You can use it for camouflage, of course, and or mosquito netting. I'm not sure how effective it is as a mosquito net. I'm also not sure how effective it is as a camouflage net. But there you have it. That is the helmet cover for the Kampfgruppe der Arbeiterklasse, right? The combat units of the working class. Now, this is the helmet that most of us are used to seeing in surplus stores and online. Lots and lots and lots of these were produced. And this is called rain pattern or Streichtarn, right? Like strike tarn, strike camouflage, rain camouflage pattern. And it's much like the other ones, right? This one also does not button in. There is a version of this pattern, or there is a version of the cover in this pattern that does button in, but this is not one of them. Again, it has the mosquito netting. Now, some of you sharp-eyed guys out there have already noticed that these little metal clips, so that's also a helmet cover, right? This is a helmet cover. It's just a net material, right? And it clips onto the rim of the helmet with these little clips. And these little clips were specifically designed by communist East Germans to destroy the manicure of decadent Westerners. It will tear your fingers up. You'll see the different style of liner here, right? Different style. This is suede as opposed to pigskin, and it's got these two big pads and this leather, or excuse me, this plastic frame. This is the model 5670, right? And this one was made in 1988. So this was right about the time that I was finishing up my tours in Europe during the 80s. So, and they just used these nets, right, to put camouflage in over the top of the steel helmet. So, very interesting. There's also a white and orange military police helmet cover. It's got a big East German symbol on the front of it. And I'll put a picture of it in here so you can see it. I have one laying around somewhere, but I didn't find it in time to make this video, so maybe I'll have it when I make the video about the helmets. See if I can find it in my dungeons of stuff. So here we go. Here comes a special helmet. Ouch. Sorry. Now this is an East German helmet, and this camouflage cover was made by a third country, because these helmets, like I said, after 91 were actually sold at surplus, and the nation, the country of Turkey, right, bought them. And when they bought them, they made these covers for them. So this is much closer to the NATO style pattern of woodland camouflage, right, that the Turks were wearing at that time. And it was just elastic, right? And in typical, Turkish workmanship fashion, the elastic has given up. So let me show you what's also interesting about this helmet. And again, most people don't get to see these. So the Turkish helmet was repainted, so it's more green than the other helmets. Let's see if I can see them side by side. All right. And they put Turkish decals on these helmets. How about that? Isn't that cool? Again, you don't see these very often. I don't know if Turkey still uses these helmets. I don't think they do. If they do, they probably issue them, to second, third line troops. Interesting thing about this helmet is the date of manufacture has been taped over and painted over. And apparently a couple guys have scribbled their names into it. So, what do you think about that, East German helmet collectors? When was the last time you saw a Turkish cover? I'll be honest with you, you don't see them very often. When I saw this one, I bought it, and I don't regret it, but it was a little more expensive than I would have liked. But again, I haven't seen one since. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me. If these kinds of videos about helmets and stuff like this interest you, give me a thumbs up if you found this helpful, entertaining, or any of those things. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I'll be making more. Like I said, we'll go into depth about the helmets, the East German helmets, and some other helmets. As you know, I work on M1, U.S. military M1 helmets. Currently about to start working on a resto mod for an M1 helmet liner. So that'll be interesting. Again, thanks for joining me, everybody. God bless America.